Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to bring you, after some season pause, SSRL back to this channel, and the Tuesday division is here with a bang after a three-way fight to close out the title, covered by our beloved Dave. Dave, you are missed. Hoping all the best for you and obviously your spouse for 2026. Thank you very much again for what you've done, but this time we are back, and it's me, it's Herman the German, and this time at the front of the commentary booth. I will be joined by Quincy later on, more on that later, and I'm gonna do what I will call a pre-show to what is gonna be a very interesting, very open, and very new season of Season 8 in SSRL, with now the 2-year mark reached as we started back in January of 2024. We are, first of all, taking a look back at last season. We had a title showdown at the Mystery GP of what was the last race? I almost forgot now. Too much excitement here. Let me rethink. I butchered that one greatly already. Australia. I almost forgot that. Where we had a very interesting race that concluded with Quincy only 1 point away from who at the end was Pleasant Snake winning the title. His Nico Rosberg-esque move makes for a very interesting balancing act we have tried to commence and over the holidays and into the new year. As also Energetic took third with the second most wins, and there was also Race Chase in fourth, followed closely by Moksha and Trucks as well as Salvi in his debut season. Toby is now to full-time reserve as he needs to move off because of work. ADS and then T-Bran are your top 10 for that season, and we will be talking about some of these guys in the midfield soon as well. So that was the conclusion of last season, and some drivers, including our top 6 here, were moved up, and that concluded to what is going to be our lineup for this season. And we have 4 new faces and returning guys to full-time seats as well, starting off with the current 2025 Constructors Champion in McLaren. Sir Ibo and Johnny Regazzoni will be partnering for that walking based outfit. Johnny is one of our new guys, as well as I Have No Grip, that is in the Ferrari next to Kovachka. They will be trying to defend the Constructors World Championship, as ADS, who's on a Red Bull as you can see, and Quincy, who's been moved up, took that crown at the final race in Australia. ADS with a Jamaican Jam partnered. He's also again trying to get rid of the assist, which we don't run here, so no assist in this league, neither D2 nor D1. Rendog takes the Mercedes seat next to another new guy, Mr. Ben Schott. I'm hoping to pronounce that correct. We'll later elaborate on that. Rowley as a full-time driver hasn't happened in SSRL so far. Tarkin Gino next to him as well. We have Thakovori and Devsy, who were partnering for Kick Sauber in the last season. We have Matt the Tank together with Salvi again, raced for Haas as well. Nothing has changed there. I think that's the only non-change we have. Meldrum and Dan Lovett have taken the V-Carb, the Racing Bull team is now occupied by these two. Dan Lovett also a new face on the block. Meldrum has tried to commence at the end of last season with little success, so let's see how this goes. T-Ban is in the Williams together with Quan, and there's Skid Solo, and Crank York is in Division 2 back again after a fairly unsuccessful Season 1 Division 1 campaign last time out. We will be racing tonight in Singapore, followed by Japan next week, Canada, the United States, China, where we have the one-shot full qualifying once again back with us, Mexico, then the United States. Second round is going to be in Vegas, then Monza, Monaco, and Australia, with the full qualifying. All 3 qualifying sessions will be commencing there, and there's a all-compound tire rule for round 2, so next week is going to be mandatory racing on all compounds. And for tonight, we have some additional information. Ignore that track map, that's the old one. Pleasant Snake took Season 7 Division 2 race win next to Quincy and Energetic, as well as Danger David as a reserve in 4th and 7th, 5th. That was a wet Grand Prix, hence the times 1:45 on the qualifying and a 1:42.5 on the fastest lap. Lap record goes to Control. A couple of seasons back, this track now is 19 turns and is going to be our first round. It's obviously located in Singapore. And there's another look at it with 4 DRS zones, the many you can find in F1 in this day and age, together with Australia, for example. You have to say all of these 90-degree corners and slow hairpins don't really make for good overtaking spots, but the one into turn 7 is probably the best, as you have a medium speed corner where you can follow closely and then brake into a hard 90-degree left with 3 sectors. The more top speed one, excuse me, you can argue is the finest sector after, there was a real life adjustment because of I think a museum or something. They will be now going through that part and not under that old grandstand, and hence why we lost 4 corners, I think, 3 corners. So and the technical sector is sector 2, where if you have extra downforce, you can try to get away, because there's a bit of a gap between the end of the second DS zone and then into the detection zone. And this is mostly what we'll be looking at tonight. And I'm gonna try to jump into the game, and then we will be talking to my co-commentator. And I'm here, so that's the most important thing. I will switch us to that as well. And I would like to welcome Season 6 Division 2 champion and now runner-up for last season, Quincy. Welcome on in.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the guys and girls, theys and thems watching tonight's stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, we have taken some earlier adjustments to make sure we cover all the bases for this very interesting season with lots and lots of changes and obviously new faces as well. I'm excited to get things rolling, but I would like you as our obviously league owner and main guy on the block. Give me a brief rundown of what to expect in terms of rules and obviously in terms of what we can see in terms of level of racing as well, because there's gonna be some different outcome for sure at the end. Pleasant Snake has retired, done the Nico Rosberg, 1 championship is enough. Was close to 1 in season 6, and now we are looking at definitely a new champion. And how do you think that is gonna go?
I'm really excited because it's for the first time we can actually, some of the guys that are usually at the back of Division 2 and sometimes Division 1 can reach to the top and hopefully get that podium, get into that, that Hall of Fame, that very illustrious Hall of Fame that they haven't quite been able to grasp as yet. So I'm very excited. Obviously, we got some new faces. We got some quick guys. We got some guys that are quick with assists that are now turning assists off. We've got guys like Meldrum. We've got returning guys like Rendog, who I'm expecting to see up there today. Looking forward to seeing people like Crankjorg and Tarkan Gino fight for position and podiums. But ultimately, there can only be one winner, can't they, Herman?
Yeah, that is obviously always true. I want to take a brief look at what I've already alluded to at the calendar sequence. We have one additional, let's call it a gimmick for round 2 already. It's gonna be the all compound usage Grand Prix, basically. Can you explain briefly what that means for the viewers out there?
Okay, so each driver has to use 1 compound for an entire lap of the Grand Prix. Could be lap 1, you pit at the end of lap 1 and go on to a different compound, etc. That's all it is. You just pick 3 of your compounds, medium, soft, hard. If the race does end up being mixed conditions, then all bets are off. You can do whatever you like. But it's just something to mix it up. We've seen a lot recently that a lot of races just end in a one stop, which can be quite boring for the fans. So we do like to mix things up here, you know, put a little bit of excitement into the races so that we can have some differences.
If that is not complied by the drivers, what punishment can be expected?
So they get automatically, I believe, put to the back of the grid. Let me just double check my words.
Yeah.
Round two. Yep. So they'll be dropped to the last place at the end of the race. So they could end up scoring points if, you know, only 15 people finish. Points go down to 15. So if they, you know, if they win the race and then they get dropped down to P15, that'll teach them a lesson, I think.
That is correct. One of the newer additions was also the one-shot full qualifying. We've only recently experimented with that. I think the drivers have liked it. Can you also sum that up really quick for us before we get into the session soon? There's like a
Yes.
different way to basically do the qualifying with the full or the traditional full qualifying you can also expect from the normal F1 if you watch it on TV, for example.
This is the thing with the silly season racing league. We like to take we're a very big community and we're very community driven. So we take many suggestions from drivers who give an ideas of how to think to make things interesting, sometimes a little bit more silly like the wet qualies from last season, and sometimes a little bit more practical because of times. You know, we're racing on a Tuesday evening. Lots of people have to go to work or get up early, so they want to get away. So you don't really have time for a full quali. So we go to this. This was suggested by one of our guys, Race Chase, who a very good friend of mine. He suggested that we do basically you have one chance to in every session Q1, Q2, Q3. You have one chance to fulfill your lap, and then after that, if you don't complete your lap, you retire. If you cross the line, you know, after the timer, you last season you got disqualified. This season we just put you to the back of the grid because obviously it's still harsh, but not as harsh as being disqualified for, let's say, uh, crossing the line with 1 second to go, as the one of the championship protagonists in Division One last season. Actually, that happened to him, and arguably that could have been the thing that, you know, lose you a championship. 1 second, you know, it's crazy. So we reduced that penalty a little bit. So you go out first 5 minutes, set your lap, then you retire, and then everybody retires, and that shortens the length of the qualifying from about half an hour, 35 minutes, to around about 15 minutes. So, you know, yeah, I think that was a great suggestion from Race Chase. We are continuing it for the foreseeable future as well. One a seasons. We're going to do it at the halfway point, and then a normal full qualifying right at the end of the season. That's just as normal. We've done that forever, and we're going to keep that going as well.
Yeah, just a quick update. I think we need an invite still for the new Mercedes guy. And
Yes,
then
I'm
it's
looking. I cannot see him.
to
I
make
will
sure we add
try
everyone.
and I will try and add him. Can't see him in my mailing list. 16. I think we should have 19 in total.
I counted 20.
There was supposed to be 20.
Let me check with you here. We are missing Johnny Regazzoni. Not sure if that.
Johnny. McLaren driver. One
Yeah.
of the new additions.
Also the new Mercedes we talked about, and I'm not seeing Matt. Matt the tank is missing.
Matt the Tank is having issues, I believe.
And we are missing T-Burn as well.
Oh no, one of the guys I was going to put in my top 5 for today. Senor T Brand. Okay, I'm just going to tag him for a second.
Yeah, okay. I think there was also the confirmation of the sprint thing we wanted to do for race 8, is that correct?
Oh yes, the sprint reverse. longer, preferably around 4 laps longer than a normal sprint race, but it saves us the time of having to make a new lobby. Everyone can stay in the lobby after the race is concluded, and we have the results, and then we go back to the lobby, set the grid in the sprint format, finishing positions, and then we go again. It usually only takes, we've tested this in my friend Dan Lovett's league, who's another full-time driver here at SSRL this season. And it worked very well. It was very seamless. Everyone stayed in the lobby, and we just restarted within 2 to 3 minutes. The grid was set, and we were off to the full feature race.
Yeah, and that is obviously gonna be Monza as our round 8, so that's gonna be very interesting. Typical, I would say, sprint venue. We've also, I think, explored that previously in previous seasons. So yeah, always good to have. Yeah, well, that's a race that always is on top speed, and you need to make sure that yeah, you can spice it up a bit, because strategy is interesting this year, I would say, but overall passing with basically 0 wings and staying in DS trains is always going to be troublesome. So I'm hoping that mixes things up. I think we can take a bit of time before we head into to start off with our prediction game already, and you have already hinted at something that's going to be for us to commence after qualifying before we head into Formation Lab. I would like to take a broader picture into the season first, and that is obviously going to be a prediction about who's going to take championship, driver, and constructors. I want your top 3 for both of these championships. I've already written down mine. I'm not going to influence you here, so based on what I think you have an advantage here, because you know some guys I don't know, and for example, I don't know how good Jamaican Jam was with, for example, Assist, and how Meldrum was, or how Dan was. He's probably not here for tonight, but that's, I think, a bit of an advantage. But I'm still gonna take a shot here and see where my predictions land at the end of the season. We have 10 races. Who do you think is gonna be in the top 3 for the drivers' championship this season?
I got to back immediately my good friend Rowley. If he turns up to 10 races this season, I predict that he may be the champion. I would have said originally Verstappen, but I think it was a bit of a mistake on my part putting him in this division with the supreme pace that he's usually in the top 5 of Division 1. So I would say top 3, I would probably say if they remain consistent, my top 3 looking at the guys would be Jamaican Jam, Rowley, Salvi, I would choose, and well, that is 3. So those are my 3. If I had to choose another 3, it'll probably be Kavashka, Tarkangino, and I'm hoping to see some good things from Rendog and Kwan this season also.
Okay, order is important, so put it down from P1 to 3 again for me, so I could put it down.
So P1 for me will be Rowley.
Yeah.
I think Salvi would be my P. Oh no, T-Bran. Forgot about T-Bran. Okay, P1 Rowley, T-Bran P2, P3 Salvi. Those are my top 3 choices for the end of the season.
Yeah, good start. I predicted exactly the same. Okay,
the same order.
Yeah, the same order as well.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Constructors. I think this is way more open. Consistency is gonna be key. We have seen so many people that if they just finish races, they collect some points. Obviously, the higher up, the more you get over your opponent, especially P2 to P1 is the biggest gap. But overall, if your drivers are consistent enough to hit it and hit it off, especially on bad tracks as well, where DNFs or we have red flags back again can happen, especially street tracks, and Monaco's on the list. We have Singapore now. Who do you think is gonna take that team constructors crown basically? And top
Can
3
I say
in the
who
order.
I'd hope to? I would hope that Ferrari. Oh, it's raining! Oh dear Lord, it's raining in qualifying.
You just
What
spoiled that.
does that mean for the race? I'm so sorry, guys. I was very surprised. I was very surprised. Yeah. I've now forgotten the question, Herman. Constructors, I believe you said.
That's so funny. We just said full. Did you just load an old one and there was rain in it?
I definitely made sure to put the thing on dynamic. Absolutely. No mistakes from my end this time round.
Yeah, okay,
Fortunately
so
for me. Fortunate.
Top 3 for Constructors Championship. Yeah, you can obviously talk a bit about who you think is gonna be it, but then just let me know when you want to put down your final answer. So you said Ferrari?
Ferrari, I think, will be up there. Jamaican Jam has improved in his pace. He still needs some work because he struggles without the racing line, but usually a very consistent driver, one of the most consistent that I've raced with recently. So I would put Ferrari. I know sometimes ADS sometimes has a crash here or there, but he does bring in the points, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters when it comes to these, these guys. So if I just take a quick glance
But
at the
ADS is
lineup
on Red
very
Bull.
quickly.
I'm confused.
Red Bull. Oh my goodness, I've completely messed up the bloody thing. This
Jamaican
is why I
Jam
wanted
and
to load up the lineups.
okay. You do
Okay,
that?
so top three.
Yeah.
Top three for me will be Aston Martin.
Yeah.
I have to say Red Bull and then Ferrari. Looking at these guys, I would say Red Bull and then Ferrari. Those are my top three: Aston, Red Bull, Ferrari.
Okay, I had a similar thought process, but I concluded with
You went
Aston.
Williams, didn't you?
I went Aston, Williams, and Red Bull. I'm
Yeah.
not too sure if and how many. Like the rule for the reserves to score points is still on, right?
Yeah, team points, yes.
Yeah, team points. Yeah, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, so the thing I was thinking for Ferrari is I have no idea about I have no grip, and I rate Kovachka very highly, but that's gonna be tough, like a tough gamble. So I kind of went with what I
Yeah.
knew. So Tibran and Kwon for me is more safe in the sense that I expect them to score. Like Kwon now has a way better chance to get more positions of people who crash and are like, because everything I think will be closer together in the midfield even more now, because let's not kid ourselves, when Kwon was on pace, that usually meant like 16 to 13, and then gaps on tracks like these, for example, were like 20 seconds because they need an extra pit stop. And in a field like this, you could be more forgiving for mistakes, and everyone maybe hasn't, or like more people have an extra pit stop. And then if you are consistent enough throughout 10 races, then that's obviously good. And my third one was Red Bull. I rate ADS. I rate that there's Jamaican Jam's potential, I think. I always try to, or at least tune into some of your streams you do personally on league races, and he's usually up there. So that's that was encouraging. I think the most important thing to go for Aston is that I think Rowley will have a bigger gap to P1 than P2 will to P3. So Tibran and Selvi will personally be for me closer together than Rowley will be to Tibran, and since we both predicted the same for drivers, I think Aston Martin with Tarantino could be like going at it very fast if they hit it out of the park already and very early on. And 10 races, each race counts more. We only had we have 2 less than last season, but you can think about how that usually impacts things very early on. And then it's just a question of if and how Red Bull misses maybe more races than Williams, because in terms of pace, if Jamaican Jam can improve on what he probably showed already, then that's good. But if they miss 1 or 2 races, T-Man and Quins always are there, so that's like a guarantee chance at least of points. And if you're not there, then you kind of need to be lucky to have a reserve. We are 4 minutes in. Most of the guys are currently out on track. We only have Schizzolo and Kwon out of our 18 drivers that are stationary in the pit lane, and we have already Jamaican Jam on a hot lap, and he's
I'm on board as well.
Yeah, that was one of the with the Red Bull livery, and one of the first guys who will probably be setting a lap time. It's an 18-minute short qualifying session before we head to a quick break, and then a 50% race. That's gonna be 31 laps on this track that has in 2023 seen a remodel where this part is now flat out and is a straight. The 4th DS zone also added later in that year, and is also in the game already. First time is going to be coming up from Jamaican Jam, and that's the time to beat for this first pole position of the season, 49.5. Feel free to check out drivers around the track, and I would just try to pick the guys who are closest to the line, as Rendog already beats that lap time with Rolly out on a that is currently an out lap. The V Cup behind that was Matt, that is also an out lap. Falco Warrior starting one, then there's Tarkin Gino next. Let's see where he can place himself in this on this first attempt. Goes to pole position, and that is now.
It's a good start lap. That is. It's a great banker from Tarkin Gino. You know, I think people, you know, like guys like Tarkin Gino will start to perform now. I think he's always pretty much up there. You know, I've had many great battles with Tarkin Gino and myself, and I feel like, because he'll be battling with people amongst the same pace as him now, he will rise to the challenge. And I'm hoping to see great things from the Aston team as Uj jumps to the top of the timing tables with 146.093, Herman.
Yeah, second guy is now a new Mercedes guy. I forgot to ask before, how do you pronounce that name?
I have no idea.
That's good.
Call him Chod.
Chod, okay.
Him Mr. Chod.
Let's go, Mr. Chod. Verstappen beat that lap time by a second from Uj, and we're gonna see a V-Cup next. I think that is gonna be Meldrum in that Miami-themed livery, as more and more special liveries have appeared on this year's game. And there's now Falco Warrior, no, that is Devsy in fact. Both of them racing for Kickstarter last season, 17th and 18th respectively. Still a lot of things to come, I would assume, but that is currently invalid lap time, and that won't count. More drivers. Let's see, Matt is at the end of the final sector, as is Rolly. Rolly is gonna be on our watch, and let's see what his first lap time can be in order to challenge at the front. Verstappen, as you alluded to already, a very good chance of taking this race win tonight, but predictions for that will come soon. Rolly goes into 5th position on a 47.9, is roughly a 10th behind his teammate for now. And there's also more drivers to come. I'm going for
Looking at
Salvi
Rolly's
next.
battery, I think that may have been a cancelled lap halfway through, possibly. He's still got 50% battery as he goes into turn 3. Gets on the throttle quite early, quite stable as well, this Aston Martin, all the way down to through the first, what would be DRS straight. Forget the turn number, but he brakes early, gets a good exit, I want to say. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll continue on this lap. He locks up a little bit, loses a lot of time there. I can see his delta's gone down a little bit, so we'll move on.
Salvi is over the line next with roughly 10 minutes now to go. Goes to P1. It's a Haas 1-2 for now. 44.6. We both obviously have experienced wet weather qualifying, where the track evolution was one of the biggest talking points after or inside of last season, where you need to be at the end of the lap, at the end of the session, to be there and make sure you get a lap time in, because the track is just getting better and better with more drivers completing lap times. There was an improvement by 2.6 seconds for Meldrum, who's now out of his teammate Matt the Tank. More people trying to...
Tarkin Gino, sorry to cut you, mate.
Yeah.
Tarkin Gino, purple sector 1. He's 7/10 up on his previous lap. He is going to have to do a lot more than that, unfortunately, because I think his lap time is about 3 seconds down. But I think he's just done another good personal best sector.
Yeah, almost 2 seconds faster after the second split. That is obviously going to be a huge jump, but more drivers are expected to improve. Rolly does so, 44.3. That is P3 for the Aston Martin. And we're now going to see his teammate. He used a lot of more battery, as you alluded to the previous run from Rolly. Let's see where a car number 98 can position himself. That is 4th position. Aston Martin.
Wow, that's looking good for the Astons. Looking to be on pace in the 45s.
That is indeed so. Let's see. Next, across the line, Kovachka. No improvement. 2 seconds down. UJ next. Reserve driver to replace I have no grip. Goes into 2nd position. 3/10 behind Salvi. And let's see who is on the lap there. Salvi was, but invalidated that. That is a pit lane entry now for him. And Rolly... No, that's Ibo, and he crashed at the end of the lap. That is the 16-17 chicane. And the next Haas is through. Let's see if Verstappen found something on this lap. And he did 43.888 for the Finnish driver. Now back to first position. Something we obviously can't forget about Quincy is that this is no permanent wet qualifying session. It can evolve. So if anything, the rain can go away and it could dry up. And if someone fancies a gamble onto slick tires, which at the moment I wouldn't recommend, could be at stake with more times tumbling down the order for now. No improvement for Randog on that second attempt. There's an Alpine over the line. That was Devsy, and Falco Warrior also jumped to P10 briefly, currently on an invalid lap time. There's a Red Bull of Jamaican Jam starting another lap, and Toby is at the end of his push lap. That is now 2 turns away from the end of this from his attempt. Crankyork goes to 7th, very nice improvement, and Toby beats him to that. It goes to P7. As now another attempt is coming in by Tarkangino, but he just started it off. There's also Kovachka over the line, and he goes to 7th again, so that has been now also changed. Korn, first lap time, I also was keeping an eye on that. Is only good for 17 right now, but yeah, don't let qualifying fool you. He's a very consistent guy, and we're going to see more of him soon. I would expect more drivers into the pit lane. I was waiting for Jamaican Jam, and he's going slowly on that lap, so I don't think that we're going to be seeing an improvement here. What's with the V-carbs? Both in sector 1 and 2. There is more to come from them. Tarkangino still on a lap. Verstappen is in. And the next guy across the line would be, I think, Williams again. Kwon has found 11 seconds. Over the line, turn 19.
Seconds.
And goes to 4th position!
What a lap from Kwan.
Let's go.
You see, obviously Kwan's younger brother, we all know and love, Russian Asiri, said some things about his brother's setup, you know, his rig at home, which could possibly, if had improvements to his rig at home, could probably find seconds. That's what he said to me.
Okay, but there was no detail shared on that?
No, I can't go into any more. It's a little bit private, but what I will say is that he will be sliding in his chair when he breaks. So that will lose performance.
goes to 3rd! What's going on here?
Wow.
Out of retirement and into 3rd position. Tarkangino! Tarkangino takes provisional pole position. What's with the Ferraris? Kovachka into the pit lane. Uj, can he find some time? There's more time on this track with 5 minutes to go. And he goes to provisional pole as well. The lap times are coming down. And,
oh my God, Herman, this is going to be a great finish. If these guys get the timing right at the end, should be the best conditions. Verstappen is just starting his outlap as Uj has just finished going into provisional pole. Tarkangino, what a lap though. I told you that he would rise to the occasion. I do believe in this guy. He's very, very quick. He does come with some inconsistencies at times, but he has always been a very quick driver in his own right.
I was trying to see if they beat the pole from last season, but that was in full wet. So yeah, but it was a 45.0 from Snake, which he would currently position himself in 7th position. Totally worse conditions, but yeah, he's also on another level. But just for yeah, context sake, basically, you can kind of see where the track is kind of going with the last 5 minutes now upon us. Yeah, I'm super stoked for that now. Let's see. Jamaican Jam has not completed another lap. I will always keep an eye on him. Devsy into the pit lane. Is there another attempt here by Matt? Yeah, let's see. Currently 15th position. Can he complete that, or is he out of fuel? He looks like he wants to complete that. Final 2 turns, 18 and 19. Goes over the line. And P12 for now on a 46.7. And there are also lap times now coming in from Skid Solo. Goes
Rowley's
to P12.
started his hot lap. He's 6/10 up in sector 1 as he goes down after the DRS straight, goes into the tight little section. second gear. That's an interesting choice for that corner. I would usually use third there, but he's doing pretty good. Let's see what his sector 2 split time will come down to before he heads into the tunnel section. Or is it after
Tunnel?
the tunnel section? The tunnel section? The bridge. Oh, bloody hell. You
Wrong
can tell
track from
it's my
yesterday.
first commentary. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he goes a little bit wide on the entry, a little bit of wheel spin on the exit. That should cost him a few tenths in time, but hopefully he still has it as we wait for the sectors 2 split. 1.9 seconds up, Herman.
Yeah, that is
Rowley.
very good good run for now, but there's still more time to be found, and drivers are now trying to line up the final attempt for 2 minutes 40. You need to be out soon in order to complete a very good outlap, have the tires in prep. I remember they were very cold on some tracks where you would run full wet qualifying. Let's see Rowley with his next attempt. 40% left on the battery and goes to P1 by only 83 thousandths of a second over.
There's definitely more time in that, Herman, for sure. I think
Yep.
with Rowley's battery usage, he's got finishing the lap with way too much battery, in my opinion. I think looking at these guys on board, so how do you usually use your ERS modes in a wet qualifying, since we just had the full season of full wets?
I just go none in the corners and use all of overtake on the straight. But if the straight is very long at the end of the lap, then I would do medium first and then press overtake, because then you kind of cap out if you use none on the final part of the straight. So you go into 8th gear and then you go back in terms of top speed. So that's kind of annoying. 2/10 improvement now by Verstappen over Rowley's lap time. Provisional pole for him now. So yeah, usually I would go on this track especially.
Juan retired.
Oh no!
Is that
what
in the
happened?
pits? Oh,
He
I
was
see,
4th
yeah.
already. Did we miss that? I think we missed that, no?
I think he retired in the pits.
Ah, damn it.
Scaring
Yeah.
us, Quan. Scaring us.
Yeah, so I did always none for maximum track, basically less wheel spin, and then just use it on every straight I could. So yeah, that is.
Yeah,
that
a
was
lot of
easy.
these guys are using medium, as I can see there. A lot of
Hot
these
lap
guys
I've
are
already
sitting-
seen.
Yeah, the idea for wet is that maximum traction, like you said, would be the best to use none and then just burn all of your overtake, especially on a track like this where the straights aren't very long, as Toby locks up going down into turn 13, I want to say. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Was he trying to overtake? I'm not too sure. Rowley is getting ready.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
attempt starting. I was looking. Where is Takajino is also out. Some
make
people
the
are already
line,
on laps.
Yes,
Falco
let's
Roy
see
in-
if Tarkangino will make. I think he should be able to make the line here as he follows the Ferrari. Oh, this is going to be very. Oh, is that going to be an invalidation? Oh, and Uday invalidates his last and final attempt. That secures his P3 spot for the moment, but I assume that it's going to be ramping up in terms of track evolution, and he will have unfortunately missed his opportunity there for a possible pole, Herman.
And there's a 5-place grid penalty because of this collision I was just watching with Kovachka.
Oh my God.
He just completed his lap, but there was a collision at the end.
Oh, and he's retired. He's been hit.
Oh my God. Absolute drama at the end of qualifying. Turn 5 collision with Krankjörg and someone else who got handed a 5-place grid penalty. We were checking that out soon as well. Devsy now crashed as well, I think, or retired. I'm not sure. There's a Haas standing side. We just parked it up. The flag is that Toby and Matt the Tank won't improve. Ibos over the line for the final time. Stays 15th. Next is Jamaican Jam. Currently 16th, goes to 11th. Not the start Red Bull would have wanted. Meldom over the line next. Can he keep that improvement? Goes to 15, splits them. Goes next to, that is Tarkangino maybe? No, that's Rowley. Let's see, can he take provisional pole position
I don't
away?
think he will.
He cannot.
Nope, so close.
There was a 10th only in it. Next is one of the Mercedes, that's Rendog. Finds a time for 4th position. Great improvement on the final attempt. UJ, you already said, is through. What's with
Tarkin Gino's
Kovachka?
getting a slipstream down the back straight there as he goes into the last couple of turns, coming up to turn 16 now as he has a tank slapper moment. A bit like Pleasant Snake in the last Kota Grand Prix, but still managed to get pole. Can he do it? We'll have a look, see what he comes to. Only good for P5, unfortunately.
And that is, I think, it. If there, yeah, there's nothing left for Mr. Shot, as he is also into the pit lane. And there was drama and action at the end of that qualifying, as there was a turn 5 collision. We're gonna check that out with the race director soon. But your first pole sitter, although you have to take that with a pinch of salt, is Verstappen, then Rowley, UJ, Rendog, and Takajino top 5. We will cover that in a moment's time, and you can already start to think about who you think is gonna be in the top 5 for the race. We obviously need to wait a bit here to see what the final the weather also is gonna be for the formation lap. So, but big upsets, I have to say.
That would be nice.
Kuan is 6th, we have Junkyard 9th with no final attempt. Jamaican Jam and Toby only 12th and 14th. That's surprising. And since we both predicted Red Bull to be in constructors, maybe constructors championship winning mode, that's gonna be a tough task. So yeah, Junkyard gets a 5th place grid penalty. I'm just gonna check the incidents here to see that again. And that was collision with Salvi, so they both came together, and that is obviously also for position, kind of 7th and 9th there. So Kankyo goes back, and yeah, your final positions are Verstappen, Rowley, UJ, Rendog, Takengino, Kwan, Salvi, Kovachka, Kankyo, Falco Warrior, Skid Solo, then Jamaican Jam, Mr. Chot, Toby, Meldon, Matt, Ibo, and Devsy are your 18 finishers for the quali, and we're gonna be seeing hopefully dry conditions, because that's gonna make things more interesting with passing especially. And I think
just gonna have to shut this RLT app just a second. Restart that. Yep.
Also got Truckster in the chat saying that he will place 5 pounds on Rolly to the win. Mega impeding for Toby is said, and whoever Funky Kimbo is someone impeded. Ben shot 9/10 on his lap. Okay, that's obviously very unfortunate, but will be looked after. I'm just gonna.
Oh, Falco Warrior needs an invite. I'm glad I went back to the Discord chat there. I think he's been kicked. There you go, Falco. Mr. Chod in the chat saying there's so much impeding going on. I'm guessing he was talking about the pile up.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe this was just happening after that turn 5 collision. Yeah, I would ask you to maybe bring up the race director from the pause menu and give me your top 5 for the race.
Yeah, so my top 5, I think Verstappen wins this one. I think he didn't. I'm pretty sure he didn't go out on the last lap, or maybe he set an earlier lap and he just sort of, like a Giga Chad, sat in the pits and watched his enemies.
Sebastian Vettel from 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm thinking Verstappen, Rowley. I want to say Tarkangino for a podium. I'm hoping Tarkangino, Salvi. Yes, I would like to see Tarkangino. I'm going to put in P4 though. I'm going to put Salvi in P3.
Okay.
With a P5 for Jamaican Jam, because it is dry. I know he struggles in the wet, so I'm hoping to see him in P5. So that will be my P5.
Yeah, I'm going Verstappen, Rowley, but Takangino podium, then Salvi. I'm thinking the same, and Kovachka as P5, because he starts on the inside the top 10. That is usually a good sign for him to move up the order. We are. I don't know where's the start time. How far?
Oh Jesus Christ! I'm not usually in this seat. Yeah. So let me type a little message to the guys. We will go at 4 minutes past, giving them 2 minutes to set their setups. So we've already been past 2 minutes already.
Falco Warrior needs another invite. Left decision again. Maybe some internet issues.
Let's go for a 0.4 start then. Let's give him.
Also Devsy. I hope I'm not disconnected.
No. What the heck is going on?
Devsy and Falco, so both of the
Falco Warrior, another invite has been sent. Devsy. Oh, I've been kicked, it seems. No? Have I left?
No, you have not left on my screen.
Okay. Connecting to online services for some reason.
Yeah. While we do that, just wanted to bring up some stats I tried to cover before we moved into the season. Take a guess on who has the highest finishing position inside of the drivers' championship, so the individual championship for all of these drivers. Who has the highest, best personal finish inside of the drivers' championship?
What, from last season? From
all seasons.
All seasons. Skid
Yeah.
Solo.
What?
No?
No.
Skid Solo? You said best finishing position. Do you mean like the highest in?
No, at the end of the season in the drivers' championship, best finishing position.
Oh, who is gonna be?
No, who was? Like I wrote
what?
down every personal best driver championship finish.
Rowley, I'd want to say, with a P.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count because he hasn't been racing as a full timer anytime.
Oh, so it's the full time driver.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a time.
You're not gonna guess.
A time where I'm probably not. I'll probably guess Kvachka at one point.
Oh, you're spot on! Let's
P2.
go!
Was it a P2, I believe, or a P3?
No, it was a P5 in season 2. I was surprised by that as well for us. Very impressive.
Yeah.
The best.
That was pretty good. I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah, the best team championship. I don't have to tell you. That was your previous teammate in AES. But I wanted to ask you who you think is behind that, because we have 5 drivers who've taken a second place in the team championship next to their, let's say, very, very strong teammate, as we had this balancing going on. So can you name the 5 that had a very strong teammate but were like, yeah, obviously kind of helped to a very good Constructors Championship?
Juan's one of them.
Yep, that's correct.
Because he had Andy Andre in the Mercedes at one point.
Yep.
Formation lap. Oh.
Is everyone in now?
I want to say Tark and Gino with Energetic.
No Tark and Gino, yes, but with me in season 4.
With you in season 4 in the Mercedes, if I'm right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Kvachka, I believe, had Fellison as a team. No.
That was.
Oh, that's interesting.
Best was 4th. I'm just gonna tell you the rest. T-Brand in season 6, division 2, 2nd position as well. Then Skid Solo as a teammate to Andy in season 2, and we had also
who was T-Brand in season 6.
I didn't put that down. Krankjorg was also teammates with Andy in division 1 for season 5 and took 2nd position. And the rest you got at least, so we're good to go. We have seen very interesting strategies already. We have 2 drivers on the softs, and that is Rendog and Kvachka. We have 2 drivers on the hards, that's Jamaican Jam and Rowley, and the rest is on mediums. That usually suggests to me that either they just completely got it wrong, or there's going to be weather, and all of them had a different interpretation of what the forecast is going to say. So if that's the case, then Jamaican Jam and Rowley think the weather is going to be very late, and Rendog and Kvachka are going to be thinking, hang on, this is going to be very early, I need just a soft tire. Other than that, you don't want to be on that soft, and obviously can gain a lot of positions for your early strategy calls. So if anything, that's a gamble, but we're going to be seeing what...
Sergeant Bevsey has left again. Let me just send him another invite. I think the soft tire is a bad call, personally. You would never see me on a soft tire in a Singapore race, even if it was guaranteed, safety cars, as well as a hard as well, because as you know, painfully, choosing the hard in a Singapore race, especially in SSRL, may be detrimental to your mental health and also your race results.
Yeah, well, it was working for last season, because for me at least, what I discovered with my setup work was that the medium was actually lasting longer. That's why I started on the hard, pitted the same lap as everyone in the medium, and the medium was going the same distance. So yeah, I can see that work again, but you kind of need a special idea of a setup there. We're going to be moving to the end of the formation lap now, as I hope everyone is now in their car and can actually participate in this. Obviously Ghost Car is placed, Jamaican Jam and Kvachka have cold tires, Mr. Shot as well, so yeah, the hards are not going to be feeling great, and Matt also missed that spot. We are 5 lights away.
Can't park there, mate, can't park there.
5 lights away from a new season with very interesting and new faces. And the 5 red lights are on. And it's go, go, go in Singapore. It's Verstappen against Rolly at the start with UJ also there
Broken
alongside. And he's already ahead. Rolly is down to 5th position within a corner. There's a crash already at the back with Randog going down the order. He completely got bumped into, I think. And there's Kwon now into 4th position, but is fighting with Rolly.
Let's get Solo and Matt the Tank into the wall. No damage though, which is completely surprising. I did see someone missing a front wing though. Oh, and it's the Red Bull. It's the Red Bull of Toby missing his front right end plate there, as well as Jamaican Jam, I believe. Yeah, both Red Bulls. Both they're going to have to double stack, I believe.
And Rolly is just taken Kwon again as Takin Gino's trying to defend from Kovachka, who's trying to make that soft tire getting to work, giving him that early advantage. And let's see if there's anything on the radar soon, as the top 2 have already disappeared by 2.7 seconds, but mostly because of the fight in between the Williams and the Aston Martin behind. Aston Martin in a very good position as Salvius kept his 7th place as well as Tagnino's 5th, and he is still trying to defend from Kovachka as there's a yellow flag for Falco Royal being DNF, so that's another get disconnected and DNF'd, bugged by the game. And there's now a change for position as Kovachka goes by into the last chicane of 16 and 17. Can he do it around the outside? Good racing by these two, and he's by. Great move by Kovachka, but that is obviously very time costly, so you really need to make sure that you don't lose too much time. Rendor, there's another collision with Toby into the pit entry. I think he wanted to cross, but then was blocked by someone. Bigger damage to his car, and that is going to be an extra pit stop in this race, and he really needs a safety car in order to make this a recoverable drive, as he's currently down to 17th and last with Falco Royan. And then there's another spin by Meldrum. Another front wing lost at the exit of the first 3 turns. Yeah, and that's big damage.
He's got big damage, 86% on the front right and 73 on the left. I can't believe there's so many guys on lap 2 with massive wing damages. Jamaican Jam stays out, which is really surprising, because it says here on the telemetry that he's got quite big wing damage on the front right there.
Yeah, he's trying to make that hard tire work. I think he is not. If you don't have. Oh! Kwon hit the wall! Turns 13 and Kovachka almost loses the car. That was a big hit from the front left by Kwon. You need to make sure that if you don't have the second hard, which would be very troublesome for you in the Singapore race, that you make the best out of it. And the situation sometimes can be that dire, and I think you experienced that yourself. Sometimes you need to stay out with wing damage, and you're going to be hurting in more than just mental pain. But you are trying to look at more and more options, and if that is your only one, then you need to take that. And Rendog is back into 11th position, just going by with the DRS on set Jamaican Jam, as the rest behind Rolly is now in the DRS chain down to what is currently 9th position. So Ilbo goes by and he's coming in, and that is a interesting.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice around Singapore. You know, you need your wings. He's got massive damage. I know he doesn't want to come off the hard, but you know, safety car may come his way, and he may be able to recover these positions. So he could just eke away at the time, try and catch back up to the guys. I'm sure all this fighting in the midfield is going to help that.
Yeah, also the medium could technically go double stint now. If you have 2 mediums, obviously, you can complete the race on both of them. And if there's a safety car around the halfway mark and you want that hard again, then you could use that, because that 2 laps won't hurt you that much. Top 2 are gone. Verstappen leads UJ by 1.7 seconds. After that, it's 5-second gap almost now to Rolly, who's pulling along Kwon, and Takengino is trying to get by on Kovachka, who's struggling already with a soft tire. Is there going to be a lunge by Takengino? No, he thinks better of it. Behind that is Salvi, Mr. Chot, and Krankök is also in that train. So the top 9 very much on the same part of the track, basically, then bigger gaps to Desi and most of the guys who were involved in collisions and chaos at the start of the race. And obviously there's a tire difference between Rolly, Kwon, Kovachka, and the rest behind there with one on the hard and one of the medium. Position changes, 8 for Devsy, very good start. Also 7 down for Rendog, 5 up for Ibo. We talked about that before. One of the guys that can make it far. And then I just jinx him. No! He spins out of the last chicane. Maybe there's a wing damage.
No, wing damage. Little bit of wing damage there, not too much. Yeah, this mega train going on from P3 all the way down to P9. As Crankjorg is on the back of Mr. Cho.
Oh, Takajino goes for the dive!
Oh, bit of contact there. Oh, Moksha's going to be a very busy man tomorrow, I can tell you that, as Kvasha gets past in his soft tyres. How long do you think these tyres are going to last now, Herman?
One more maybe, one more lap, maybe one more corner, who knows? I don't, yeah, I'm not surprised if they would go and fall off now, because there's a 1.5 second gap now. There's 2 DS ones coming up that could be very detrimental to Kukovich's 5th position right now, so I'm interested what this Ferrari S strategy, is deployed right now. So
one day in the Ferrari and he's already.
Yeah. Oh, he locks up. He locks up and goes a bit deep. Is an opportunity. Takajino half of the battery is remaining for him. Can he do it? No DS on the Ferrari in front. Goes to the inside and is through before they turn in for turn 16. And he is in front at the exit of 17, as Korn is also pressuring Rolly. Can you imagine this? A lot of ES switches though. He goes to the outside. Can he make it around the outside? Korn and Rolly, they touch. Rolly is a bit off. And Korn goes through. There's Salvi fighting Kovachka behind. Kovachka on the outside. Salvi is through on the inside. The tires are dropping like a stone to water. Fighting back into turn 5. Another spin by Ibo. Very unfortunate. Around the outside goes the Diaz. Is he to what is now 6th position? That is the case. Can there be other people benefiting from this? Almost 3 wide into turn 7 as Kovachka fights back. Mr. Chot goes around the outside of Salvi and about to take another position of the Haas. Was just trying to get the one himself. And he spins. Maybe the slightest of contacts with the side port, a usual glitch you can see on the F1 game that makes you spin around like you just are driving, I don't know, something very light. The cloud car from Mario. There's no other reference I have in my head.
Looking at Crankjorg's battery usage is very good. He's got nearly 95% of battery versus Salvi's 43. So I think he's just in managing mode at the moment. He's just taking his time, not making any mistakes, picking up the positions where other people may be fighting. And as Kvashka holds on to these tyres, I think it's time he maybe has a think about maybe pitting for a hard tyre, maybe going for a 2-stop possibly with this strategy that he's pulled.
Yeah, Takajino is also at the back of Korn now, so that's a 3-way fight for P3 at the moment, with both Aston Martin sandwiching there the Williams. And there's always a move to the left-hand side of the track by Rolly into turn 1, so he's always trying to break it late of that slipstream. But Kovachka stayed out another lap. Matt the tank goes by on Rolly because Rendog on the soft tires makes the let's say more educated guess of switching that tire.
I think he may be going for a 2-stop, Herman. I really do.
See.
Hard tires, as expected. As Kovachka is now overtaken by Salvi. There, down into turn 7 as he's fully in front of turn 8. I think the tires are dropping off now, and it's time for Crankjorg to activate that inner Dutch Max Verstappen and try to get past. Now, as he goes for the move, will he go for the move? Yes, he does. Down towards turn 10. Oh, a little bit of contact there. A little bit naughty from Kovachka there. But it's good battling nonetheless. Let's hope no one touches any walls. Will he get past? Over the bridge they go as they come through in a very dangerous section. No.
Crazy racing.
For another day there, which is good stuff to see. Hopefully.
Good racing. I think that is also a very Division 2 or Tuesday Division exclusive, because I think most of the guys just want to get a bit more racy and don't have the patience for that long game maybe, or are not willing to bet on patience, which is always fun. Takajino has now lost the train to both his companion in front. Kovachka pits now, and that's gonna be also probably hard tire. And Kwon is fighting Rolly again into turn 1 very
Goes
late.
a little bit too deep, yeah, a little bit too deep into turn 1. I think he just needs to maybe have a lap where he can manage his battery a little bit to really mount that attack onto down this section into turn 6. Could be an even better option for him to get that overtake done apart from turn 1.
Yeah,
As he goes for it again.
Jamaican Jam just completed another overtake. He's into 13th position, getting by on skid solo. But this is very wide line from Kwon, opening up a lot of that inside for a late launch by Tarantino, but he actually keeps that in order to have the best traction out of this corner. And then you can just swing
is approaching a Red Bull. I'm assuming that is of Toby currently. He is in a different world. Like I said, I do apologize to the guy. You know, I did say which division do you want, and I was hoping that at the time when I made the swap, Snake was meant to be staying. Yeah. So I was hoping to give him a challenge with Verstappen and Mr. Wouter, who was meant to be going to Tuesdays, but actually forgot to then change Verstappen back to Mondays, and that's how he ended up with the race here. But it's all been rectified from next week, Herman. He's back in the Haas for Mondays
spin!
Next week.
Who's that? Dempsey! Oh no, he had such a good race so far. Exit of 14. Damn it.
Not over yet, Herman. Not over yet.
Obviously not.
Comes out turn 15, and you could still recover. P10 is still quite good, I believe.
There are big gaps. Look where the rest of the field is.
Yeah, it's very stretched
gap
out
from the gap from P1 to P10 is almost 40 seconds now. P12 is a minute already behind, and they had one stop extra.
Already. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. Kwan gets past. Does he get past? Yes, he does. He gets past finally. As Rolly's battery is very, very low.
Imagine Kwan podium before Takajino podium.
Yeah. I mean, Kwan has had some speed in the past. I think because he's always up against the very top guys.
He tends
to lack around the middle.
He had better Division 1 overall finishing positions than in Division 2. On the
very hard
on the countbacks I did. He was 3 times 16th in Division 1, and also had that obviously constructors second place with his brother last season in Division 1. So I'm interested to see what the plan for Aston Martin now is, because you can see that Tak and Gino is currently in the DRS of Rolly, and Rolly was about to miss that for Kwon, and there's very little in...
My goodness!
Oh! Kwon, what are you doing?
Nearly into the wall, Herman. He saved it. Oh, it was a ridiculous tank slapper there. But he manages to save it, only losing 1 position. As Tak and Gino goes for the move down the inside of turn 1. What a move there. A little bit of contact, but as you can see, that's just only a little bit of racing. That's fine.
Yeah, Kwon opened up the steering. That's good. Saw that coming. There's a pit stop by missed that shot. That is one of the more reasonable strategies of the medium tire at the end of lap 9. Let's see. Yeah, that is going to be a hard. That is still a longer stint for the hards. We, I think, saw
new tires.
Bart's and I think Babish taking lap 8 or no, lap 10 or something for the hard tires.
I think it was 8. I believe it was lap 8.
Was even earlier. Oh, there's a crash at the back. Meldrum, yeah, Meldrum had problems, and now Ibo and Toby are battling, and Toby is through. And into the last points paying position of 15. It would be nice if you could keep open the tab for the tires, so we maybe can talk about people pitting soon maybe, or different strategies, because I usually do that when I'm co-commentating.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. We've got
but it's
from
very
P1 to P8 with 8-lap-old tires. Skid Solo still podding along in P13 with his 8-lap-old mediums as well. 13 seconds behind Jamaican Jam, who is already pitted.
Yeah, another pit stop by Meldrum. Kwon goes by on Tak and Gino into the final chicane of 16 and 17. And Salvi is back with this battle, as Rolly has now gapped Kwon by 2 seconds. So yeah, tires are probably starting to become a nuisance to these guys. And obviously, if you can't keep them alive, you are struggling for that rear tire grip you need. All of these 90-degree corners require you to maximize traction and to minimize rear slip, because as these cars have engines in the back. Yeah, most of the drive obviously comes from the back, and you need to be very gentle to that throttle pedal, as there's now a DRS train with Kwon and Tarkingino as well. Salvi, Crankrock has dropped by 5 seconds, and then after that it's a bigger gap. To Matt the Tank, surprisingly in 8th position, didn't have the best of quali, started in 16th position, also 7 positions up is Crankrock, so very good consistency so far. I hope I didn't jinx them just like I did with Ibo earlier on, so let's see what there's in store. I'm surprised we haven't seen a major incident that I would consider safety car worthy, and we're almost at halfway point, so less battling because of bigger gaps, but still a lot of things that can happen, as Devsy is the first to fall for the 3-second time penalties, and then Skid Soul immediately followed after I said that, so going great for me on the jinxing here. Next opportunity for Tarkingino, but I think that's a bit far. Everyone, I'm usually, and I'm going to do that as a main commentator as well, I prefer to have the telemetry open to see if there's overtaking opportunities lined up for these guys, because Juan has 20% battery, 27 on Tarkingino, and 62 on Salvi as he makes his way into the pits and is going to be trying to undercut these guys, and I think we are all aware that undercutting is very strong here, so he's basically no traffic. I assume he will be behind Kovachka in 9th position, and that's the second medium, and that's the worst call.
That's going to be a 2-stop. Yeah, he's looking for a 2-stop. Yeah, that's not a good strategy there. It's not a good strategy there, and he's Italian, so the Ferrari is in his blood, so that's where that strategy has also come from, clearly. Optimum laps for pit lane from a medium to hard is lap 13 to 14, so you are going to start to see these guys come in very shortly. Rowley and whoever else started on the hards, I think it was Jamaican Jam, but he's pitted, are going to be coming in around about lap 18, 19, Herman.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed to see that Salvi, who was one of our contenders for the Drivers' Championship,
the top 5, yeah,
for the top 3 as we predicted him, has not stopped doing the 2-stopper. He's a game too late for our 2-stop season. We did that 1 year ago. Can you believe that's a year ago already? You launched this 2 years ago, basically. Like,
time flies when you're having fun, man. It really does.
Season 1 was starting at the start of 2024. So that is
October 2023 is when the Discord was created. It's the beautiful service. So 2 years down. Who knows how many to go? As we go on board with Salvi, who is with his Ferrari strategy, following the Ferrari, the masters of the red Scuderia. He's gaining. He's just gained like 3/10 on that one straight alone as he pushes towards Kovachka, who has been a little bit slower. He has been a little bit slower on his previous laps. I keep looking at its delta, and he's usually about 5 seconds down on his previous lap, so on his fastest lap. So he is pulling in, but I think these guys are going to have to pick up the pace if they're really going to make this quite frankly terrible strategy work at all.
Yeah, there's big gaps. They're not reining in as they should. There are some drivers in between, like Skid Solohead and Meldrum, that are not in the race, but you have to say that with an easy one-stop strategy for especially our 3rd, 4th and 5th place driver, as Ibo is off again, and Devsy has another 3-second time penalty. There is wing damage to the McLaren.
He's got no wing there. Nope. As he, I think that's Gino, or is that Rowley approaching him currently? As Rowley approaches him, hopefully he won't cause the yellow flag as he goes.
And Verstappen's in for his probably only pit stop. Also, the weather didn't come to fruition, so there was just different strategies for these guys. Halfway mark is almost about to be cleared, and there's a brief yellow again for Devsy, so continue to be troubled by maybe traction problems. Tarkingino's in as well, so that he's the undercut on the guys ahead, not only his teammate.
Salvi. Who's that just getting past in the background there? I think it was Verstappen, No, it looks like a Haas.
Verstappen is out of turn 3 and Salvi's on the straight now. Means start finish.
Yeah, this is going to be a very easy race for Verstappen. All he has to do now is to just cruise up behind the guys. They're going to pit as Red Bull have Matt the Tank goes wide into turn 1, and the Alpine, no, not the Alpine, the pink car. The pink car. What is the
It's
pink
good.
car? Is that a Racing Bull?
Yeah. The pink car is Meldrum Racing.
Oh, I really wish these guys would match up their liveries, because that is
Yeah. Able
that
another
is
3 seconds.
crazy.
Yeah, looked a bit odd, yeah. But it's more pink than the Alpine because the Alpine is mostly blue, so that's a bit
So
easy to
my
do.
top 5 prediction for Jamaican Jam is going out the window. I don't know what happened to the Red Bull. Maybe it's track dependent. Or I hope it's track dependent, because I'm really counting on your success here, Jamaican Jam. But yeah, he should be, further up. I know qualifying would have been a bit tough due to the weather, but he should be further up here. Maybe a little bit of frustration, but needs to sort of push on with the strategy that he's been given now due to lap 1 damage as Sergeant Devsey goes in the pit lane on his hard tyres, possibly coming out on a set of mediums, which are not going to last, I don't think, to the end.
Kuan is into the pit lane, so we will turn our attention to Takengino. So Salvi is not going to be launching anything into turn 16, as also Krankjörg is into the pit lane. I think Rowley missed maybe a spot now, because he's going to be... Oh wait, he was on a hard tires, yeah, never mind,
Yeah,
forget what I
he's got
said.
another 4 laps to go.
So Takengino fighting with Kuan into turn 1. Let's see, the Williams is at the apex of that very tricky exit, and he is behind of the Williams. That is very close. He almost tags him, and he almost loses it. Too eager on the throttle, as Kwon is now also passing Matt the Tank. That is for position. You don't have to yield anything to these drivers. The pink V-Cup behind that is lapped only. So Takengino's undercut didn't work, but he has that warmed up tire. It's Solo
Solo's
is
retired in the pits. I was getting excited then. I thought it was gonna
always
be a
check
safety
before being excited. Here's a lesson for commentating.
I really don't expect to see this retiring from Skid Solo. He's one of the guys who usually finishes every single lap in the
that's true.
season. Yeah, one of his all-time records, finishing every lap, I think, in season 4. Skid Solo leaves the session. Takengino undercut didn't work, but he's still right on the back of Quan. Quan does seem to have DRS from the Alpine in front of Sergeant Devsey, I believe.
That is correct, yeah. The other Alpine is already retired.
Hopefully he will get out the way, as we can see this. Oh, as Takengino goes into that corner, very close on the back of Quan there, as they continue to battle. Batteries at very similar levels here, so we won't see an overtake into turn 1. I can probably guarantee you that. Skavashka pushes on. Salvi now out of DRS range, down into turn 5 there.
Yeah, tires are half the age. Also, UJ just pitted from 14 lap old mediums and is still ahead of Salvi and Kovachka, who are doing a 2-stop. So that is how bad the 2-stop is, with someone extending a not very enjoyable tire at the end of its stint to go for a fresher hard compared to what you can do in terms of the undercuts, because we've seen Takengino pit early. We've seen Mr. Chotus just going by on Krankjörg, and that is a 5-lap difference in terms of tires. So yeah, very long stretch for him coming up, but the undercut on what was P8 has worked out for him, because Krankjörg was running P8 for most of that race. So, and yeah, Kovachka and Salvi will be dropping the order throughout the race as well when they do their next pit stop in, I would guess, I don't know, 5 to 7 laps maybe.
There's what is that?
Brief yellow for Devsey. Has spun again, lost the front wing into the wall again. Yeah.
Both end plates, says he will be taking another trip into the pit lane for that damage, as he's approached by a racing Bull of Meldrum from behind, and these guys are racing for position, and he should get past. His battery usage is very, very high.
Verstappen takes back P1 with Rowley not or yet to pit because starting on the hard tires, he's going to be pitting soon as well, maybe at the end of this one. I'm seeing that Verstappen has underfueled his car by 1.72 laps, so I think that's going to be a bit of fuel saving coming up for him on the second stint, because...
Well, he's got the distance and the time, so...
he was betting on something else, and we are not even in Vegas tonight, as Takangino takes Kwon after that pit stop. Shuffle has played out, and I think Kwon is maybe not liking the hards. There's a spin by Ibo, and he is facing the wrong way. Let's see if he can get it going. Yeah. We don't need an intervention for that. Sometimes can happen, but is currently not in the will, or not to the liking of this virtual race control that can bring out virtual or rear safety cars. Jamaican jump into the pit lane for another hard, or the old hard? Another hard, okay. Another one.
Yeah, he's had a horrible race, Jamaican Jam. Probably hoping for a safety car to come and save him. But unfortunately not. You got to just keep out of those turn 1, lap 1 incidents, Herman, don't you? As Meldrum crashes, is he crash? I think he
Safety car! Safety car because of Meldrum! That is, where is that?
That is down into the
13, 13, that was 13. Let's see if you can see maybe some debris. Desi drive-through penalty.
Drive-through penalty. Oh no.
And now that it was just a safety car Jamaican Jan needed, and it came out a lap too late. Kovatska's 2-stop strategy and Salvi's are saved.
Why is there still overtaking? Why are the guys overtaking each other, these Red Bulls? Jamaican Jam's wish has come true, as he's just pitted for hard tyres. This is huge for him. You know, he can... Yep.
It's worse than... It's like, if you pit after the safety car comes out, you still... gain more than when you pit a lap before, so because that's
I'm just talking about in terms of like closing up with the guys.
Yeah,
you know?
obviously.
It's
you would have wished 1 lap earlier. Just saying.
More than likely, yes, for sure. But we just had word from Schizo. Oh, Verstappen gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. Wow.
Oh my god.
That's just incredible stuff. I think it was the social race we did last week, somewhat the same thing.
Another one! He's doing the Herman from Baku last season! This season opener double drive-through penalty for the okay, well, he's not going to be the champion, we alluded to that already, but what is going on with Verstappen?
Who knows, man? He may be doing the Andy Andre from Jeddah from a few seasons back. With the two drive-through penalties, he's got the pace in this division for that, so it may be, but you can't serve that on the safety car. You can't serve that on the safety car, or he may be coming in to retire. You never know.
Oh yeah, maybe that.
I hope not. I'd like to see him fight back from the back, maybe cut his way through, maybe give us some action replays. Has
new tires,
Jamaican Jam.
Yeah, Rowley has the best opportunity to drive through penalties for. He's in the prime position to win this. Yeah. He's going to that medium tire once. UJ is going to take the race lead.
Imagine me saying that going on the hard tire was the wrong choice. Wow.
Yeah, you were so wrong. But
I was so wrong. Happily.
You did predict that. Another drive-through for Desi. We have 2 guys with 2 drive-through penalties.
What is going on with the Delta control? We have had a message from Skid Solo, who has said that he had to retire due to an accelerator problem that isn't working. So that's fair enough. I did think that he was driving a little bit slower than usual. So that maybe gives an explanation as to why he has done the retirement, which is fair enough. No one likes not working equipment.
Yeah.
Drive-through penalty again for Sargent. What is going on, Devsy?
He needs, I don't know. One also from Meldrum, so sorry, was doing so good, was feeling good, and bang and snap is his explanation.
That's unfortunate for Meldrum there.
Pit stop by Mr. Chott as well. So, UJ didn't pit. Makes sense to me. If you don't have a second car, the track position could be crucial now. Obviously, Rowley is in the prime position to win this with Verstappen's drive-through penalties. Could be a double Aston Martin podium. Korn is also in this. Then pit stop from Salvi and Kovačka to fresher hards, which can happen. Obviously, the gaps are going to be soon together, I would assume. But this could be a safety car where not everyone makes it even, because Jamaican Jam is at
Salvi's
the end
back in
of...
it.
Yeah, oh my god. Jamaican...
Salvi. Oh, sorry, mate. Go ahead.
So, the guys who are not caught up are from P7 down. So the top 6 basically have their own race now because the safety car has been called in. There were too many gaps. Jamaican Jam, one of the guys we pointed out who was maybe benefiting from this, is in turn 5 right now. That is only roughly a sector ahead of this. And we were gonna be listening to UJ doing his first ever restart on the safety car. Let's have a listen.
Staffer might as well throw away this lap here. He's got to do 2 drive-through penalties and then hope that another safety car doesn't come out in between that as well.
And UJ has kept the lead at the start of this restart with our safety car intervention now. Yeah, back to ignore the yellow flag at the top. This is gonna be going until someone causes another yellow inside of this race. Top 5 are together. Kwon needs to make sure he is turning on that ES to medium at least, because he's still running a non. And we're gonna be seeing a fight with Randog as well, who's fighting against Matt the Tank. We have seen also some drivers. Mr. Shot got back to the worn hard tire he used early on, so he wasn't thinking the medium could do it. I'm very surprised by that call. And Devsy into the pit lane. Can Verstappen do something into turn 10? That is not the case. And
Mr. Chode is pitting for some reason.
Yeah, I think he wanted another hard tire at the safety car, but didn't get it. Yeah, very...
Yeah, I think he got his old ones.
Yeah,
oh, wow. He wanted a medium. He's gone to a medium.
But he had the medium and Verstappen's
P11.
by. But he needs to pit on this lap already. I don't know, I don't remember how that was, but it sometimes doesn't make real sense, because you actually get calls now from the engineer that you can't serve the drive-through penalty under the safety car, and even on the lap when it comes in. But it still shows you that 2 laps are remaining, so out of the 3, some must have gone away, and now Verstappen is in, and UJ gets a 3-second time penalty, and Verstappen almost shunts it into the pit lane entry over the entry curb, and now Rolly is in an even better position. There could be an Aston Martin 1-2 on debut race for this season.
And if Kwan gets a move on, it could be Kwan's first SSRL podium. You know, I've been racing with Kwan for upwards of 2 or 3 years. He's been close on times in certain areas, but this would be a prime opportunity to get it. If only they decided to. Oh, a little bit of a pushy battle there between the Ferrari reserve driver Uj and the Turkish driver Rolly. As he gets by on his fresh medium tires, you'll see him start to pull away for at least another 2 or 3 laps while the crossover happens, Herman.
Yeah, and another spin by Desi. Brief yellow can be cleared right now, and Takengino is back with UJ as well, and Korn is working on that, trying to stay with Takengino. Has not achieved that on this attempt. The DS detection point for the next 2 straights are together, and after that briefly it's the one for the main straight. Randog is by on Matt the Tank. That is for 9th position. We also covered that for you, and after that it's just big gaps between the drivers who are for position. UJ is about to drop out of the DRS, so it's only 3% of battery as well, so that is gonna be troublesome, because Takengino could be potentially
as Rolly sets the fastest lap of 1:33.174. Yeah, man, I think this is gonna be...
No, Kwan!
No! No, Kwan, no. You know, that's going to prompt me to check warnings for people.
Yeah, do that, please.
Takengino has only got 1 warning. So he is definitely on for, you know, a P2 here if he keeps the pressure. ERS usage could be a little bit better. He is pushing. Yeah, Salvi is now on possibly. Salvi is now possibly on for a podium here in SSRL.
That is so crazy. Like, these names at the top fighting for a win is such a great thing to see after I just said that before. almost now 2 years, as Verstappen has cleared his 2 driver penalties and is still in 10th position. I'm just gonna open the gap to the leader. That is 45 seconds with 10 race laps to go on a fresh hard tire. I am assuming he could get Matt, he could get Randog, and then if he really locks in, maybe Crank-York, but other than that I can't see that. And obviously fastest lap maybe in an attempt as well. The hard tire is gonna be very durable for the rest of the race. But let's see if he...
Crank-York is having a great race so far up in P7, but needs to be careful as he has got 3 warnings. Kvachka on 2,
3 warnings,
and Juan
probably
now
1 collision
on
as
5.
well. The warnings is probably 1 collision as well, because 3 usually means a penalty already. Top 4 stayed the same. Salvi is indeed closing in on Kuan. Could be fighting on position with the Williams soon as well. So Stappa already has... Oh wait, what's with the fuel? 1.1 1.1 laps down on fuel. He was looking for another race, I think.
Yeah, the Ferrari and the Haas today in terms of the strategy. Apart from Uj, I know he's a reserve driver, so maybe we can't count him as a full Ferrari driver. But yeah, the strategies were not that great. Maybe he was expecting a lot more.
You know what happened?
And less. What's the word I'm looking for? Less drive-throughs. Yeah, that's what. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was. You know what happened? Because Uj, I noticed when I did the prep, he was only signed in as a reserve, so maybe late sign in. Then Ferrari didn't bring their second pit crew to him, because obviously every car has their own pit crew. Then they said, "Yeah, we don't bother traveling now to Singapore. You can go do your own strategy," and this is why he's not. They've not fumbled it for him.
He's doing the Carlos Sainz of, I believe,
Sainz.
23, I want to say. If only he didn't have that penalty and maybe had a little bit more pace now. I think he's just taking it a little bit easy now as he's 7/10 slower than his previous lap. As Tarkin Gino is not closing in, but is also not losing.
Oh no!
Matt the Tank!
Another! VC! No VC.
No, VC.
Matt the Tank retires from this race into what is the probably pillar of the bridge.
That is the DRS zone. Yeah, just on the exit there. Disqualified for receiving multiple penalties. He didn't serve the drive-through.
I think he did, but there's another one. Yeah, he got another one, and that is too much. Devsy and his teammate have scored the lowest positions you can get. 17 and 18 in this race. One is disqualified,
didn't even have a chance.
Yeah, and there's pit stops.
Retired him.
There's pit stops.
There should be. I would be pitting too. I would be pitting too. If
I'm scared because the gaps are still huge, and it's only a VC.
Yeah.
So. Oh, there's front wing damage in the soft for Verstappen.
Soft. Oh, he's just going for bragging rights here. I think he's just going to go for the lap record because.
Yeah,
that's just not gonna do him any favors. I don't think. I think there's just too many laps remaining for that, especially with the VSC.
Lose a position. Another drive for penalty. No.
Do you think there's something wrong with the Delta, possibly?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's so many drive-throughs. This is the most drive-throughs we've seen in a single race for ever.
I think Division 2 drivers are not used to interruptions by safety car because Division 2 is barely any, I would say.
Yeah, true. The last 2 seasons, yeah, we have been very, very clean. Putting Division 1 to shame, I would say, even though I take part in both divisions.
Who is this we? You've been promoted. Don't think you're not one of them. Salvi is into the DS of Kuan, who has lost it to Tarkangino ahead. We have reached the last 8 laps. That is a deep moment from the Haas driver who just debuted with us last season, and he has made impressions and indeed did so for what has been now called on a championship charge basically. And there's Crank-York by and Kvachka who now needs to serve a penalty. I think we've seen multiple records broken. That's Kuan personal best finish, Tarkangino's best finish, Rowley's best finish, UJ's is still gonna be the best finish. And that's just
Going to
Salvi
be on for a
podium.
P5, I believe, unless he can get past Tarcangino and create maybe a little gap. With these 10-lap-old tyres, though, Herman, you know, they're not as fresh as they were, well, 10 laps ago. One lap
Getting
younger
obvious.
tyres for Kwan than Tarcangino. But yeah, looking forward to the, hopefully, with Kwan's brilliant ERS deployment, he can get up to the back of Gino and hopefully we'll see another battle before this race ends.
Yeah, there's certainly a chance for that because Salvi has been closing in a 3.5 second gap because he was so close to the end of this safety car we had before.
Oh, has a little bit of a tank slapper there as he loses 2/10. He was so close to getting in that DRS. But yeah, he's got twice the amount, maybe even a little bit more than that, the amount of Gino's ERS. So I think some consistent laps from Kwan, you could see him emerge ahead, at least on track in the P3 position, which would be, even though he's got a penalty, would still be good to see.
And he also got back into the DRS, so he's currently safe also from Salvi. He's deploying a bit of that battery. Staying on a non behind the guy in front while you're in the DRS is really efficient. Because while you're on throttle, you regain the most ERS when you're obviously in non-deployment mode. And then you are basically getting medium deployment mode throughout the rest of the lap because you save so much on the behind the car in front. But Kwan is continuing to be on non and is pushing to that 100% mark. He's very good with his racecraft right now. Verstappen takes what is probably gonna be the fastest lap point as he's currently in P9. But remind me, if he runs out of fuel on the final lap, then because of the 90% he's still classified and gets the point?
Yeah, but I'm assuming that he will drag it to the line and get his point. But if he does have to retire, then yeah, he would score those points still, including the fastest lap point.
Yeah. This has gone horribly wrong. Just a reminder, Verstappen, Rodi, Tarcangino, Salvi, and Kovachka were my top 5 predictions as Jamaican Jam gets a 3-second time penalty. Quincy predicted Verstappen, Rodi, Salvi, Tarcangino, and Jamaican Jam. With Salvi, yeah, probably gonna be lining up for a P3 here. Currently, fighting for getting into that DRS window, and with the time penalty is currently in front of Kwan, who will take a career best finish in P5.
Oh, he's going for the move, Herman. He's going for the move down the inside, outside rather, of turn 7. I thought it was going to be the inside, as he probably picks up a track limit there. But yeah, he needs to get a move on now.
That's close!
He's got the pace.
Tarcangino.
Oh, as Gino spins a little bit of a half spin there. As he comes through turn 9, down to turn 10, burns a little bit of battery, sticks it in none. Let's see what Kwan can pull out to the 4.7 gap that he's got to Uj in front, as Rowley just cruises down just past turn 14 there. He's going to take his first win in SSRL. I'm not too sure if his pace is going to be too much for this division, but we can decide that at a later date, maybe after the next race, and see how that one turns out.
I think
but apart from that,
go.
Go.
I think we have to take that with a pinch of salt. I would say it's a street track by the wet qualifying. I think people were out of place, but I think that could be a conversation. I also alluded to that when we did the overall season prediction, that I think Roddy's gonna be finishing with more points away from P2 than P2 is to P3, and that was obviously the T-Brand Salvi prediction.
Shame, I don't know where T-Brand was today. I do believe I had a message from him saying he would either make it or he wouldn't, which is very yes or no. But yeah, I think he would be up there in this fight, because I remember from the last race he gave me and Snake a good battle. Not so much me, because I snuck my way through right in this turn that Rowley's going through right now, down to turn 10, as he went a little bit wide on his old tires.
Oh, we have a
he
fight
held
at
up
the back.
Snake for laps. We do.
That's Toby, Mr. Chod, and Jamaican Jam for what is P10. Jamaican Jam is a 3-second time penalty. Will give these positions for free to the drivers behind. And also, if you look at the gap for the third, fourth, and fifth, Kwon was briefly and is again over the 1.3 seconds to Tarkingino. So with the tire advantage Salvi has over both of these, Salvi could be helping Kwon because Tarkingino wants to obviously defend the position from Salvi because that is going to be for podium position. And they could be losing very fast because that gap currently to Salvi is already 2.1 seconds, and only 9/10 can be found by Kwon if he continues to keep doing the good job he's
He just had a little bit of a mistake, but he has gained
and
9/10
into turn 1.
Ooh,
There's no fight back by Tarkingino, can't really line it up. 1.6 seconds. This is now a distant fight with Tarkingino if he loses touch too soon with Salvi for Kwon to maybe gap him on pace to stay in at least 4th position.
Can they pull up to the back of Ujay though? That's the thing. I mean, he doesn't need that many seconds. I think Salvi does have it in him, and those fresher tires, 3 laps do make a difference. If I can count correctly, I believe that's 3 laps. He can make a difference on that to Kwon to pull up behind him, and then he's only needing 8/10 to secure a P2 finish. You know, that's going to be very good for the confidence going into the second race here on the Tuesday division, which I should know, but I've mixed the calendars up to create a bit of fairness in the two divisions.
Japan, yeah. Right at the back, Jamaican Jam lets Toby by, and Jamaican Jam is now trying to defend from Mr. Chod, who is going to be benefiting from that time penalty anyway, but if he can be held up to not attack Toby, that's going to be good. Fresher medium tire by 1 lap on the Mercedes, but I think at this stage you want to be on a hard tire that is worked his way into the final stint of this race. Couple of laps to go, and let's see if Jamaican Jam's Ministry of Defense is currently operating, because he needs to be pulling along and hopefully doing a better job than Yuki Tsunoda did in the final race of last season.
The Jamaican Minister of Defense deploys the widest Red Bull in history as he attempts to Sergio Perez like he did for
Salvi is through on P4, and that is now obviously
2 laps to go when he comes across the line.
Oh, that was very deep by Salvi, and Kwon with the oversteer. So yeah,
very
for Salvi
car there today.
Would be good on your prediction. And,
yeah, it would.
Looks like
I think it looks like he's increasing the gap. I think Ujay maybe had a couple of laps off to get that ERS back up to now he's at 59%. And you never know. The 2 laps extra tyre that he's got, he could do it, as long as possibly he doesn't get the fight back from Kwon, which I don't think is possibly going to happen.
Short got by on Jamaican Jam into what was, I think, turn 13 before the second. For the last time on this racetrack, the DS flap was opened, and now there's pressure for Toby coming very soon.
Kwon again with the oversteer. I wonder if his tires are just getting a little bit, his rears are getting a little bit too hot. Tarkingino again just trying to hold on. I think he's using a little bit too much ERS. Maybe needs to have a little lap of trying to regain getting over that 50% mark so that he can then try and mount an attack. He doesn't really need to mount an attack, let's be honest, but it would still be good. Everybody does like to, I know I do, like to finish ahead on track even if there is a penalty, because you never know what can happen in the steward's room with unfair penalties, etc.
Kwon is still looking racy, despite this inevitable doom that is going to be him demoted to P5, which is still a very, very good result. And obviously,
such a shame, though,
we
man.
still don't have Verstappen in the top 5. So even with this pace advantage, he should have. Well, he definitely
had. The pace advantage is gone now with those dead tires. I mean,
yeah, and obviously he's gonna be running out of fuel on this lap. Kwon goes sideways into The turn that is just before this beautiful Anderson Bridge on this racetrack, and Rolly will be starting the final lap of the first race in Season 8 soon. He has continued to perform inside of the last season as a very trustworthy and also reliable reserve driver for teams when he has taken the wheel. He is in a full-time seat now with the Aston Martin team that has taken the championship last time out by 1 point over this guy in the commentary box, and is now looking to add to another fantastic statistic, and that is obviously your first win inside of the SSRL League. Division 2 has started off with a bang, and we're looking to see if anything else can be happening in the final couple of corners before we have completed 31 laps. It was very beautiful. He had very technical and difficult racetrack. Korn is still fighting to stay with Salvi. Goes deep into 7, and now Tarantino is through on track, so that is P5 guaranteed, as I think Korn has continued to push these tires over the edge. Salvi is currently 3.5 seconds away from UJ, so that is a 6/10 difference for what could be a P3 or P2 finish. That's 3/10 now. There's a couple of corners to go. Can he make it? Is there some traffic? No, that is only for Rolly at the end of the lap. He is continued to prevail in race conditions. Didn't put a foot wrong. Had the safety car at the right time. Rolly through the final chicane takes home his first SSRL victory in Singapore. Rolly on top in Marina Bay. Congratulations.
What a race, Rolly, man. What a race.
And there's a 2/10 difference between Salvi and UJ. Can he make it? The Haas driver misses out on P2. Tarkingino takes a 4th position. Kwon is 5th. Then we have Krankjok 25 seconds behind that on also a career best finish in 6th position. Multiple drivers, including the guy behind, with drive-through penalties late into the race. And also that applies to Verstappen, who's going to be running out of fuel anytime now, I would assume. Krankjok is through, and that is Kovačka in 7th position. Only gained 1 position in the race, which is quite unlike Kovačka, you have to say. Rendork, after McLaren misery, is with Mercedes to take 8th position, but had trouble at the start, recovered very nicely.
Very well recovered for sure.
There is the now stricken Verstappen, and there's Toby far behind Verstappen, and well ahead of Mr. Chord as well. This Jamaican Gem also has clawed it back, but I don't think there's going to be an overtake lining up for you into the final chicane between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Red Bull off to a very difficult start, while Aston Martin hit it very well, and also Ferrari in the hands of the reserve of UJ. There's a debut point finish for Mr. Chod, and there is also Jamaican Jam through 12th position, and Sebo, who had multiple incidents, came through as well here at the end for a P13 finish. The last driver out of our 18 to make it through here. And he's gonna take that 3 points as well to his name, as we now see the podium with Rolly ahead of UJ and obviously Salvi.
Oddly enough, no cleanest driver.
Okay.
That's an odd one, but we'll take the driver of the day as Krankjorg. Complete the most overtakes, fastest lap to Verstappen, obviously on those new fresh tyres, and new SSRL winner Rolly A1881. I always have complications saying that name. It doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as SSRL, but we'll leave that there.
Man, you scored good with that change between Tarkingino P3 and Salvi P4.
Yeah.
You get a kick or head start by 2 positions. Rolly takes your Singapore race win for Season 8 Division 2. We have UJ, then Salvi, then it's Tarkingino, Kwon in 5th. Krankjok, Kovačka, Rendork, Verstappen with arguably had this in the back. Toby Mr. Short Jamaican Jam. Sailboat, then retirements were Matt the Tank, Meldrum, Skid Solo, Fakavoy, and Depsy. So V-Carb as well as Alpine with a bad start. And that is gonna be, very tough for, 10 season race. So, 10 race season, sorry. And, we're gonna move to, some interviews in a short moment. So, let us try to get these drivers in. And if you
Doing the tags now. I did a
thank
tag
you.
previously. We do
Mm,
have Salvi, the P3 driver, in the chat
see,
at the moment.
UJ won't. I remember he wasn't maybe so comfortable with his English. I'm not sure. Maybe I misremember. Let's see. I forget to mention something to you. Let's talk after. I wanted to ask you something. So very Quincy. Response so far?
I've just received the tag. Oh no, that's about them on Ultimate. We'll leave that there for a second. Got 2 drive-throughs and I was building a strategy for the safety car and broke my wing on the way in. Loved the track, had fun. GG's top 3, GG Salvi, good night. What a mic drop moment. What a mic drop moment.
Yeah, okay, Roddy is in as well. Let's see, UJ is typing. Oh, thank you. So
Doesn't speak English.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
Okay, no
that
worries.
as well. All right, then let's move to our podium interviews now. We got Rolly on the mic for his first SSRL win. That was some race, safety car at the right timing, driver in front gets 2 drive-through penalties. Start was a bit troublesome for you, obviously, on a harder compound. You had a train behind of like 6 cars and needed to fight off Kwon and obviously attack and Gino at stages. How was the race from you? How satisfied are you with the result? And how was the race for you overall? Okay.
Have you muted?
Yeah, no, he was muted himself. Okay.
Hammond, was that to me?
Yeah, obviously, I always start with the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I just joined. So, thank you. I wasn't expecting to win this one because this was definitely going towards Verstappen. He definitely had better pace. I just had to choose the alternate strategy because I thought that there was going to be an SC at some time. I was expecting it to be actually earlier, so I was thinking that maybe I would stay for that period because the last time I raced here, I remember the mediums were falling quite early. That's why I thought maybe at the first few laps there's going to be an SC and the mediums are going to be wasted for a few laps. So instead I chose hards, but it turned out to be not like that. And I had lost completely Verstappen and Ogier, and there was no hope to catch them. And then came the safety car and the unlucky drive-through for Verstappen. I wasn't expecting to win this one, but I'm quite happy, of course.
Yeah, there was obviously a sentiment of you being a very reliable and also point scoring reserve driver, and you've now taken a full-time seat inside of this season, and a very different competition is now around you. You have now some pressure on your shoulders, at least from our commentary side. Do you think it's the same for you? You feel like you're gonna be one of the favorites to maybe win this title, or at least fight for the top 3 consistently throughout the season? Or do you think like this was maybe a bit of luck for today, but also maybe the calendar doesn't suit you? What is your overall sentiment for this season after we just finished the first race?
It's been so long that I win a race. I even forgot how having some pressure was. So I don't know if it's going to turn out to a title run. I think I will be missing 1 or 2 rounds, but I cannot yet know. So I'm not yet feeling any pressure. I think if I don't miss any races, that I may have a chance. But today, definitely, we had a few drivers who were just quicker than me. So if I get lucky a few more times, then I will possibly be in the title fight. But yeah, I'm just enjoying the moment right now.
There's also a very mixed up field inside of the season overall with many new faces. Tarkin Jr. and you seem like you could be also running for the Constructors' Championship. Was there anything you maybe talked to him about? Maybe some strategy calls, maybe splitting something? Have you talked at all before going into the season?
We didn't, but I think I feel more confident about constructors than drivers because Tarkan is also a consistent driver. And I'm sure we're going to help each other. So I'm more, as I have said, I think we have a better chance on constructors rather than the drivers for me. We didn't talk about strategies, but when I chose hards, I saw him already was going for mediums. So it was a good choice for both of us. We don't know. Maybe we are going to be talking about it later.
All right, and looking forward to Japan next week if you can make it. How do you feel about that track?
I like Japan a lot. I really wouldn't like to miss that one. That's one of my favorite tracks. Not that I'm quickest, not my quickest one, but I enjoy Japan a lot. So I hope I'm not going to miss it, and I'm going to enjoy my time again. And I can't wait to see you guys stream.
All right, yeah, obviously, take care of that after this one. Thank you very much for taking our questions. Congratulations again on P1 for tonight and to a good start into the season, and speak to you in 7 days' time.
Thank you, and thanks Quincy for finally making a division even where I can win.
No problem. Take care. Have a good night, Rolly.
Cheers, bye.
And we will be moving to our third place driver in Salvi. Debuted last season, got a podium on the debut of this season's race, and we are talking to him about how that 2-stop was maybe saved by a safety car. Quincy and I was obviously pointing that out earlier inside of this race, that you once again tried to go for a different strategy that didn't look to be very competitive out there, but the safety came at the right time. What was your data maybe going into this race on why you maybe chose that 2-stop to begin with?
Yeah, first of all, nice to talk to you finally. And yes, I wasn't expecting to end on third place after my quali, which I messed up. So I was hoping for maybe top 5. And yes, as you mentioned before, the safety car came, the right time for me. I planned to go a bit longer, but after the safety car came out, I thought I pit again because I know I had to stop again because my medium wouldn't last to the end. So I choose to pit because of that.
Yeah, there was obviously lots of drama involving your teammate for tonight. There were drive-through penalties galore around you, and there was obviously a very long and interesting final stint going on. You caught up back to the group, then they had penalties as well. What do you think was your preparation and your overall pace for tonight? Do you feel like you were on the good side? Did you take any major learnings from last season as well, where yes, a lot of different races, and obviously the full the wet qualifying was back at play again, although random for tonight. What was the biggest thing you wanted to try and improve on go into the race, and how was that final stint as well for you, trying to get that P3 on the road as well, with UJ having a 3-second time penalty, also so close there with two tenths at the end.
Yeah. Well, Singapore is one of my favorite tracks, so I expected or hoped to be in the top 3. After the quali, I never thought that I could be in the top 3. So yeah, it was lucky. Also, as you mentioned before, Verstappen had a drive through. I think he could have won the race. So was a bit lucky at the end. I was stuck behind a few cars at the beginning. My pace was a bit faster, but I couldn't go through. So yeah, I lost a bit of time, but at the end was lucky with the strategy and the safety car.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving to Japan next time out. How do you feel about that track? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
It's not one of my favorite tracks. It's more like a surviving thing. So I don't know. I hope for a P10 there. Maybe a bit better, but Japan is not a track which I'm really competitive. But maybe I'm lucky also there, which we'll see.
Yeah, well, the one thing I can tell you for certain is you have to two-stop now. Last time you didn't really but now you have to. So that's good. Don't mix that up.
Yeah.
And yeah, speaking to you, maybe next time out, yeah, there's obviously some good sentiment after your debut season. So let's see if you will be a consistent top 5 finisher. You also showed us in the previous season that after these guys that have just recently been promoted, you've been always kind of there. So yeah, congrats on P3 again, and maybe speak to you after Japan as well.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, take
Wish you
care.
a nice evening. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Yeah, Quincy, that is
Wow.
obviously now a wrap up for our first race inside of Season 8. That was very eventful. Lots of different storylines already coming out of that first race. What was your main takeaway after we just concluded the first round?
Main takeaway that it's probably a good decision that we move Verstappen into a more competitive field. As looking at the stats that have just been rendered, he's about 9/10 faster than the field. Everybody else is a lot more close with Salvi behind in the P2 in the pace for this race. As he said, he did feel very pacey, but he just couldn't get through. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great competition going forward, and that was a very eventful Singapore race, as it usually is in this division. So I'm quite happy with how the lineups are and how the renders are, and I'm hoping for more.
Yeah, I'm hoping for more as well. And don't forget, we have the all compound tire or all compound race next time out with Japan, where every driver needs to be running every slick compound at least for one lap inside of the race. So two-stop guaranteed, and obviously different approaches to that. Yes, the soft tire is very punished on what is a very difficult first sector as well. Looking forward to yeah, speaking to you in 7 days time for this second broadcast of Season 8. If you enjoyed this out there, make sure to leave a follow on this Twitch channel. If you are watching this on YouTube, also subscribe to that. And in order to not miss anything in the future, check this out live if you want every Tuesday. That is 7:30 UK time, and we will be tuning back in for Japan in 7 days time. Have a good one. Take care and good night.
Good night.